Welcome viewers to Tikpan TV, and this is your show Sports Focus. You know, on Sports Focus, we give you every detail about grassroots sports, from the grassroots to the professional level, and we give you exclusive interviews with coaches and managers, well known and unknown. But before we continue, today we'll be talking about a very excessive and important issue that is disturbing Nkwanta football. But before we go on, I would like us to go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, I introduce my guest. We talk about the topic. We educate you, you educate us. So we'll go for a quick commercial break.
Nobody knows that I love you. Yeah. Nobody knows you, my baby. Yeah. I'm a nobody knows that I love you. Nobody knows you, my baby. Yeah, man, the boy last year, I'm a murder the beast. I'm not afraid of nothing. So I'm a do it straight to me. Tikpan TV, say the fact. Tikpan TV, Lieutenant W, straight to understand the boy last Z. Nobody knows.
Okay, welcome back, viewers, to Tikpan TV, and this is your best show that you always watch. This is Sports Focus. Today we are in the studio with one important person when it comes to Nkwanta football. So we are looking at a question that is the way forward for Nkwanta football. Before I go on, I introduce my guest to you. My guest, you are welcome. In the name of Nana Kwesi Simon, and we all know him as Coach Cash, a juvenile coach in Nkwanta. You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Today, I would like you to look into a certain issue, which is the way forward for Nkwanta football. What do you think is wrong, and what do you think we should do?
Brother Teves, thank you very much for your opportunity.
Okay.
I think it's a privilege to be called upon. First of all, Nkwanta football, for some time now, our consistency is dipping.
Okay.
Because before some of us, we rise up to join Nkwanta football, we saw the peak, but now it's like the standard is falling.
Okay. Some
time ago, with the likes of Barcelona, Ocean Lions, Chelsea, Marseille, and Nkwanta, which they were not even playing GFA competitions, they were very active and very lively.
Okay.
They give their spectators more lively football.
Okay.
But now we have teams who participate in GFA competitions, but you see the attendance at the stadium is very less.
Okay.
But for my quick research, what I've seen is that within the teams, managers, coaches, players, there is no more relationship.
Okay.
That rapport is no more there.
Okay.
Now, Nkwanta football teams can't even play friendly matches among themselves.
Okay.
Just because that rapport is not there. So if you are in a community or you have a football team and you are in Pasa here we have about 10 football clubs.
Okay.
And you can't play friendly matches to assess stamina wise. How do you go for GFA competitions? And how do you think you get results? Because if you are going to play second division, you can't tell me that your preparation or you'll be inviting teams from other communities, other areas to come and play. Because already going into the second division, you are going to spend.
Okay.
So when you are still playing team from outside, you spend more.
Okay.
And you know the situation on grounds in Nkwanta North. Sponsorship is a problem. So what I've seen is that rapport is no more there. Coaches and managers, they don't have rapport again.
Okay.
Teams can't link up with each other again.
Okay.
First, that is not how it is.
Okay.
Ocean Lions play friendly match with Barcelona. Marseille play with Barcelona.
And
then you see them coming up.
So is it only the rapport?
Actually,
that is our problem.
It's not the rapport, but the rapport is key.
Okay. But we want more.
Yes.
We want more of this.
Before, let's assume before coming to Tikpan TV today as your guest, is because of the rapport you have with me.
And the experience you have.
Yes.
Yes. We are counting on the experience you have.
So if you are a team managing breakers and managing dreams, and you and I, you don't have that rapport, do I think that when you have the opportunity to send juvenile players for trials, will you call me?
No, no.
Why?
Well,
Because no rapport.
Okay.
But when there is that rapport, the moment you hear for any justify, you call me. Oh, my brother, prepare your players. Let's send them for trials.
Okay.
Because that rapport is there.
Even though the rapport is the key,
Yeah.
we want to look at another one, like another issue that is like disturbing the Nkwanta of football. You see, we have a lot of talents. We have, from my research, we have a lot of talent, but it's like we are not playing top flight. The last time I interviewed, I hosted a friend. He made us understand we have that level. We have, when you watch the Premier League, our top flight football, we have players here who can be there. But right now, I want us to tackle what is happening to our players or the teams, because you said rapport.
Yeah.
So, like, we want to look at more of the problems.
You see, after the rapport, the next thing is our understanding level of the football.
Okay.
So, right from the owner of the players.
Okay.
That is talking about the parents.
Okay.
What do the parents think when my child is playing football? What will be my benefit?
That is. You remind me of a certain issue where one guy was playing, a very good guy, Yuma. Then all of a sudden, the father said he should go and stay in the village. I said,
Okay.
Why so?
So to raise up to that level,
Okay.
the parents of the children have to understand that this is the benefit in football.
Okay.
Because anything you are doing, you are aiming at what? A point.
Yes, a certain benefit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't think that maybe my word playing football can earn me one day,
Mm-hmm.
then the child going to play football is useless.
Okay.
And more to the point, the players or the guys playing the football, they have to know that this is what my aiming point, this is my target. I've using it as my profession. So let me be serious with it.
Okay.
I don't have to wait up to 4:30, 5 o'clock. Now that they will be here, peace in my ears, walking gorgeously, going to training. If I'm ready to sponsor you and I see you in that attitude, will I sponsor you again? No. So the guys themselves have to be ready, willing, disciplined, sacrifice.
Okay.
Don't think you are playing the ball for your coach.
Okay.
When today you are performing, let's take Inusa of Talented Zone.
Yes.
He's playing in Eduana.
Ediana Stars.
The coaches who coach him in Pastor Town, have they followed him to Eduana?
No.
So the players or the guys shouldn't think they are playing for their coaches or their managers.
Okay.
When they are performing and they come to buy them, the managers or the team share is just some 10% out of 100%.
Okay.
So ask yourself, the 90%, the 80%, who is enjoying it? You, the player. So you have to sacrifice, you have to be self-disciplined. All the time you have to assess yourself. After training, after matches, you ask people who are around, who knows football, oh, today what has been my performance? Has it been so bad? Has it been so good? So that they will give you corrections. But not that as a player, you finish and you just clean your boot, back, put it in the bag. You are going to sleep. Next day, then you come back. How are you improving?
The problem we are looking at, you've actually mentioned that of like the players.
Yeah.
Let's look at the coaches. What problem do they have that is not making our players get there?
Yes. You see, I've firstly mentioned of rapport.
Yeah.
Maybe me, for instance, I am an upcoming coach,
Okay.
juvenile coach,
Mm-hmm.
taking care of under 13, under 15.
Okay.
And you are taking care of a senior team,
Okay.
a third division team. So maybe your links will not be the links I have.
Okay.
Surely your experience level will be high.
Okay.
So if I don't give you that necessary respect, will you teach me more?
No.
Or will you show me some of the links?
No.
So the coaches themselves, there is no rapport.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly we feel so big we are not ready to learn. That is a major problem. And we don't also push our players. We always think of 2 or 3. When those ones are not going, it means the rest can go. But you have to understand that a team is made up of at least 30 players. So when you push one and he's not going, you come back, take another one, push. Before you push up to 10 or 20, surely there will be one that will go for it.
When you explain the rapport between the coaches, you've mentioned a word which I want you to tackle more. That is respect.
Yeah.
Like respect among the coaches. How is it?
Now, respect among the coaches. Let's go for a small.
Okay.
At the premier level,
Okay.
you see Samuel Bodu, you see Maswe Konadu, a lot of those coaches. Last I was listening to Samuel Bodu after a game between Lagos Cities. As they drew that game, but the coaches post-match conference. What came out of the post-match conference? Samuel Bodu went ahead and said he thanks Maswe Konadu for his advice. So does that mean that Maswe Konadu is more than him?
No.
He's not more than him. And he wouldn't take the titles that he has won and he's on the way of what? Winning from him. It is just what? Something that is respecting. He's giving him that necessary respect. For him to teach him more. You see, they say a child doesn't know how to wash his son, eat with what? The elderly ones. So if I'm not giving you that respect, maybe you are in the job before me, your team have progressed before me, how do I think that you'll be teaching me more? Even we look at the classroom, a student or a pupil that comes down for a teacher, the teacher get time to teach him more. The same way football.
And looking at this, you see, the more you talk, the more questions come into my head. Looking at this, I'm looking at something. Why is it that I know very well that players move from Nkwanta North to play Justify in Accra, but they all come back? What's the problem?
Now, first of all, I spoke about discipline.
Okay.
Maybe you think the attitude you are possessing in Nkwanta North, coming to training late, you are not ready to sacrifice some of the things you are not ready to do. Maybe on a pitch, training time, cones. When you are doing cones in Nkwanta North here, a player can just stand at a place and shout, "Oh coach, it's time. Let's play the ball." But do you think when you send that into Accra for trials, will you be picked? The coach will tell you that if this is what you just start, when you are being admitted fully, then it will be worse.
Okay.
So one thing why they go and come back is that their attitude is one.
Okay.
Attitude, discipline. When you are not self-disciplined.
Mostly when you mention the figure 1, I will want you to add 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this attitude is 1, discipline.
Yeah. Discipline. Sacrifice.
Sacrificing. Okay. So that when you number it, when you bullet it, the players listening to us out there, our viewers, who their parents are ready to help them, or the players themselves, they will know that this is what we will need when we go in for the Justify. This is what we will need when we go for the trials. So like, I want you to list it for us.
You see, when you are going for Justify,
okay,
or those that went, what they come back to tell us is that when you get to those areas, for cones, stamina work, you'll be doing. And you and I know Pasa football. These 2 things, most of the players don't like it. And most of the teams don't even like it. I have a small boy in a strong academy in Kaswa. Last month, he came down. What he came to tell me is that for the woman, he is staying with a woman. A woman is their coach. That for stamina work, A woman don't joke with stamina weight. So I've also gave me example that when you go to farm with your father, before your father will start a new farm, what does he do? He say he weeds the area, raise young mouse, do a lot of things before you dig here. And I said, you think if football, when you don't prepare your muscles, can you play? You can't. So you have to be, that is what football is possessing. Have time for yourself and train. When you do the cones and you are playing the ball, you yourself, you will know that I'm fit. But when you are not fit and you are playing the ball, yourself, you will know that you are not what? You are not fit.
Okay.
So stamina or course work is what is really bringing. Some of them will come back and say, I'm hungry. They are maltreating me.
Meaning they can't sacrifice.
They can't sacrifice.
Okay. But before we go to the solutions, the way forward, looking at things that we have to bring into play so that Nkwanta football will move forward, I would like to have to go for a quick commercial break. And always before we go for a quick commercial break, you know our production is Tipan House Media. And when it comes to Tipan House Media, you know we do all kinds of streaming. We do live streaming, even we do recording, video editing. Even the best out of it is the photo shoot. When you come to Tipan Media Production, there's one nice gentleman, Kelvin Ami. When he does your photo shoot, I don't think you travel out there. Let's go for this quick commercial break. When we come back, we tackle the solutions to the way forward to Nkwanta football. Thank you very much.
For weddings, engagements, funerals, and outdoor events, look no further than Tipan TV Production. We do photo shoot, photo editing, video editing, content creation, TV advertising, graphic designing, motion graphics, music video shoot, and social media live streaming of church services. Are you a man of God and need a platform to be heard on social media? Tipan Production brings you live telecast of your preachings from our studios on your social media handles. Call 055-7780-365 for bookings or locate Tipan Studio at Pasa Kwabnana Boo's residence. Tipan Production, bringing ideas and plans to life.
Nobody knows that I love you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nobody knows you, my baby. Yeah, yeah. I'm a son, nobody knows that I love you. Nobody knows you, my baby. Yeah, man, the boy last year, me murder the beast. I'm not afraid of nothing. So I'm do it straight to me. Tipan TV, say the fact. Tipan TV, Lieutenant W, straight to understand the boy last Z.
Nobody knows. Yeah.
Welcome back, viewers. This is still your show, Sports Focus. Here we discuss issues pertaining to grassroots sports, and we look at today. We are concentrating on Nkwanta football. In the studio with me is Coach Cash, as we all know him. Today we are discussing the way forward for Nkwanta football. We've already looked at the problems pertaining to our football. Now I want to go to our coach and ask him some of the things we need to do so that we can also get players out in the top flight football. So Coach Cash, welcome back from the quick commercial break.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very much.
right now I said we look at solutions. What do you think we should do? I want us to look at it in like three folds. What the parents should do, what the players should do, and what the coaches should do.
Okay.
Even if there's time, we'll add what the managers should do.
Okay.
Yes, let's start from
The parents.
the parents.
Now, with the parents,
Mm-hmm.
they are the owners of what? The players.
Yes.
Or the player.
Yeah.
You live in the same house with the player.
Okay.
You see in Nkwanta of our teams here, we don't have clubhouse and those things.
Yes.
So the players, they train, go back, play matches, go back to their various houses. So you as a parent, when you know you want your ward to play football, you have to auto time your play your ward. It's time for training. Why are you still in the house?
In the first place, do our parents even understand the football business?
That's
where I want you to look at it from. I want you to look at from that.
When we started, I first talk about what the parents don't know the benefit.
So, like, I want us to go that way. What do we do for them to know the benefit? What do you think we should do?
Now, that one has to be the responsibility of our team managers.
Okay. So,
you attend to the parents, tell them about the benefit
okay.
of the child
Okay.
when another teams come for him.
Okay.
You see, sometimes the parents think that the moment the guy is playing and a different team comes down to buy him, the money belongs to the team or the team manager.
Okay.
They don't know that maybe it's done on
Percentage
wise and
Okay.
or percentage basis.
Okay.
Maybe 10% goes to the team, then 50% goes to the parent.
Okay.
Because that is your child.
Yes.
I'm just managing or teaching him something.
Okay.
I can't claim everything
Yes.
over him.
It's true.
So that has to be the responsibility of the team managers.
Okay.
Visiting the parents, telling them how important or the benefit they will get when their children go for it.
Okay.
You see?
Okay, now let's go to the players themselves. What do you think they should do?
The players, they have a lot to do.
Okay.
First of all, they have to be self-disciplined.
Okay. That's
Tolerance.
Okay.
They have to tolerate some kind of, excuse my way, some nonsense on the pitch.
Okay.
You see, football is full of intolerance.
Okay.
That is what the restart is.
Okay.
When you are playing match with my team, you may assume to play 4-2-2.
Okay.
I may play 4-3-3. Why do you play 4-4-2?
Okay.
Because you want to give me problems.
Yes.
And I play 4-3-3 because I want to give you problems.
Yes.
So on a field of play, they are made up of 11 players. I said, you see them going up and down. Some people will be doing certain things. The tackles they do on the pitch is very bad.
Okay.
So you don't have to say, because my colleague tackled me bad, let me also go and slap him. Let me also go and retaliate.
So the self-discipline.
You have to discipline yourself. They have to be ready to sacrifice.
Okay.
When they sacrifice, they will go forward.
Okay.
Even our local guys that are in Accra, Kumasi playing the ball, Keke, Masaudu, a lot. When you call them right now, what they will tell you is that self-discipline. Not that they don't have that type of anger. They have it, but it's because of what they are aiming at.
Okay.
When you are, that's why they say a concentrated mind is never what mistake. So if you think you are ready to play the ball and you're on the pitch, what someone is saying outside shouldn't bother you on the pitch.
I have this problem to which I don't know whether you are experiencing it in your team, in your juvenile team. For a juvenile, I don't think they will have that. A player thinks he's playing for the coach. I don't know whether you have that in your team.
That one a lot.
Okay. So how do we tackle that one?
That's why I say, first of all, that is when we visit the parents and tell them, then they will now also sit their children down and tell them that this is what is going on, this is what is going on.
Okay.
If you pay a visit to Talented Zongo right now to ask him about Masaudu, maybe just after they do that, Talented Zongo had something small. But the rest of the winning bonus percentage coming up, do they earn it again? No. It's between the player and his family.
Okay. So now I want us to look at another side of this issue, which is a disturbance to me. Have you ever met a player in town who is a player who will tell you I don't have boots?
Yeah, a lot.
Don't you think
Senior
that is
players.
yes?
They are not even juvenile players.
Yes.
When a juvenile player tell you that I don't have boots, that one
You
is
should understand.
something
It's laudable.
laudable.
Yes.
Because you don't know what is aiming at.
Yes.
That's why they call him juvenile. You see, in the word juvenile, when you bring it to a tree, they say potom. They are just doing it inside like
yes,
that.
Anyhow.
Whether good or bad, they are just combining it. But you, a player playing GFA competition, Division 2, Division 3, when you say you don't have good, it's not laudable. That's why when you discipline yourself, you sacrifice, you get sponsor. People who are selling those provisions at the roadside, when they meet you 3 o'clock, going to training, jogging, Why do you think when you say you don't have book, they will not buy for you? I have one football manager who manages a player.
Okay.
I last met him one-on-one. I asked him, why don't you manage the player again? Oh, he say, it's not easy. A player who I'm managing, buying boots for, buying kits for, to go to training, to be able to play football. You know, Pastor, yeah, our entertainment center is watch and pray. The players manager told me that I went to watch and pray last. I met my client, what he was even drinking, also buying for people. Me, the manager, can't buy it. So I thought of it that, is it a waste of time? And he decided to break the way he sponsor. The player also didn't do follow up again.
Okay.
Talking to you right now, the player stops training now. The career is now like this.
Okay. Thank you very much. And let's look at the coaches. I want us to look at what the coaches should do. You just give us about 4. They should do this, they should do this, they should do this. About 4 of them.
Now, the coaches, in order to develop our players, what we have to do is, 1, the rapport between themselves.
Okay.
We know the teams in Plaza Town. Maybe when you pick Breakers, Central, Tizongo, Success, Eka, Red Miracle. So all these coaches, they have to come together. There should be, that is 1, rapport. Player movement. Why do I talk of player movement? Maybe today I go to a Tizongo training ground. I meet a player there from Red Miracle. Red Miracle coach won't even question him, or Tizongo coach won't even question him that, why are you here? He will come today, tomorrow
They will
next.
even use him to play
Matches. He will be inside across the teams.
Okay.
We don't do follow up that. Maybe what has been the person's behavior.
Okay.
So when that rapport is there, you will know it.
And
Then with the coaches, or the coaches too, they have to be disciplined among the coaches. As a coach, you don't talk rubbish to your colleague coach in front of your players. Then branding of the players or promoting them. You have a player who is performing, at least you can do something. Push him. Oh, I have a player. Maybe this match you want to play is a high level match. Use him so that I will see whether he performs for me alone, or when he moves to different environment, he can perform.
okay.
But when you don't do it, how do you think they can go forward?
Okay. So right now, I want us to understand something.
Then more to the point, there have to be unity among the coaches. Maybe coaches don't meet each other, then you just pass. You don't have any relationship that way. It's very bad.
Okay. And this thing, I want us to also look at something. Looking at the problem, we are now solving them.
Yeah.
What do you think the managers should do to promote players? I want that, like, managers.
For the managers, they have a lot to do.
Yeah, okay, let's go in.
First of all, branding of their teams
Okay.
is a key place for them,
Okay.
because you don't expect a team like Breakers or all the top teams in town, when they are playing matches, you can't even differentiate between them and the other teams.
That one is not even my problem. Like, you go to a team's pitch, then they are not even having beeps.
Yeah,
You don't even know who is who.
that's the branding I'm talking
Okay,
about.
okay.
They don't have beefs.
Okay.
Maybe playing the match within the 11 players, this one is wearing red hose, this one is wearing blue, just couple like that.
Okay.
So the managers, their first responsibility is what? Branding. Then the type of matches they call for their teams or they play. A manager, you are not ready.
They should get aggressive matches.
Yeah.
Something that their team will be able to.
There are some matches when you even lose, people will clap for you.
There's a clap. There will always be a clap.
But there are some matches when you win,
nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Okay.
It's like you've not done anything. You can decide to win 20-0, but you've not done anything. But when you play a high level profile of matches, maybe out of that match, the team that is bigger than you, maybe let's assume that Breakers invite Bando Heart of Lions to Pasa Town to play at the end of the match. The football loving fans in Pasa will clap for Breakers for them bringing such a team. Maybe you, the manager, being lucky, or another player out of the team being lucky, you will be transferred to that team. And you know the type of matches Heart of Lions in Pando play. You know the type of matches Wafa and Sokako play. They play what? Premier matches. So when they buy a player to their team, they will just groom you. Maybe out of 3 years, then you see your player on the television. Then you'll be somewhere raising your shoulders. That's my player. That's my player. But when you don't call high profile matches, maybe you go and call a match that team, you yourself, you can even go there and buy player from the team. So are you moving forward or are you coming back?
Thank you very much for coming for the issue. See, it has been a very healthy discussion and we have learned a lot. I myself learned a lot and I know my viewers have also learned a lot. But because of time, we have to draw the curtains at this level. And before we go, you know, this is the Tikpan production. And I always tell you that when it comes to production, there's no other media house apart from Tikpan Production. My manager, Mr. Eric, the DOP, Kelvin Ami. When you come here, we do live streaming, we do recording, even live band we do. Even when you want us to record and replay for you on our social medias, you can see our handles at the down. Please follow and like us so that we can grow the media house together. Before we go, I would also like to thank my wardrobe manager, that is Jaola Collections in Accra. They do house-to-house delivery, nationwide delivery. And when it comes to another boutique in town, that is Franklin Boutique, thank you very much for my footwear. And the person I have to thank so much for my dress, that is the selection of the dress, not the wardrobe manager. The selection of the dress is my wife, Yusuf. That is Halisa Yusuf Ismaila Mustafa, and my daughter, Fadi. My manager, Muhammad Musa. Nature, as you all know him, the DOP, Kelvin Ami. Thank you very much for coming for the show. Yes, go try this here. The one where they say they come.